So just to give you an idea, we collected nearly 30,000 pieces of feedback last year alone. It was 28,000, which for us as a business is really significant because we recently celebrated passing 100,000 active customers.
Right.
So you can see that 30,000 responses for us as an organization is extremely significant in terms of a sample size. And 94% of feedback was positive.
That's
so
amazing.
94% of those walking through our doors would highly recommend, their experience and their visit to our branch. So that's something we're really proud of. So we looked at this a couple of years ago and said, we need to start recognizing this because this is just amazing, and put in place a reward scheme. So we have different types of branches because we have tellered, which is branches with cashier service, the more traditional counters and cash services where we dispense in cash and so on. And we have branches without this called tellerless. So you can't compare kind of those two because it's quite a different environment. So we have a reward for each branch type. And we also, and this was really important, and I think this is what made the initiative the success it's been as well in terms of the reward scheme. We also reward the trajectory, the delta. So it's not just those at the very top of the leaderboard. It's the most improved branch each quarter that also wins an award. And what we do is we give them a small allocation and they must spend it as a team. What they spend it on is up to them. They can go, we've had people go to escape rooms, we've had people go for dinner, we've had bowling, we've had lots of great team outings, but they must spend it together as a team. So the pride of winning it and earning it, because, it's not everybody gets a badge, it's meritocracy, they really earned that reward, really means a lot to our teams. And it's something we've been maintaining now for over 2 years. So it's a staple, it's part of how we operate now. And it's something that we have plans to continue doing. So that was really, really successful. And again, that was another way of really rallying our teams behind it. And something I saw in terms of the measurable impact is as soon as we started monitoring and measuring the satisfaction levels, they started to increase because our colleagues knew it was what was being monitored and recognized and rewarded. It's not that they didn't care before, but people do tend to respond to what's being measured and what's being recognized. So when you're suddenly able to quantify that satisfaction level, if it's not as high as we would like it to be, everyone wants to do their part to improve it. So you see this organic shift where suddenly it's a priority and more of a focus than perhaps it was before. So I really cannot thank our colleagues enough for the way they've embraced it. And that's definitely what's made it such a success. But it's been a huge success for us as an organization. We now cannot imagine life without it. We feel like we would have such a blind spot if we didn't have that overview and that insight coming in.